Good morning, and welcome to meditation with the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Janelle Carroll, and I am a licensed religious science practitioner based at the center. It is my honor to be here with you this morning for our meditation. I invite you to settle into this space wherever you have chosen to be in this moment. To focus your breathing, to just notice your body and your breath. With each inhale, going deeper into that space within. And with each exhalation, simply releasing any tension and placing your attention back to your breath into this moment. Find that perfect space and pace of breathing, of breath, continuing to go deeper into that space within where the still small voice waits. This morning, as I speak with you, I am walking outside, and I'm struck by the light. I see blue skies and white puffy clouds. Which seem to be in contrast to the short days and the dark nights of this time of year. I give gratitude for the light, and I give gratitude for the darkness. I'm grateful for the darkness. And this morning for meditation, I offer you a poem and a reading. First, a poem from the poet Rilke. And Rilke writes, "You darkness that I come from, I love you more than all the fires that fence in the world. For the fire makes a circle of light, but no one outside learns of you. But the darkness pulls in everything, shapes, fires, animals, and myself. How easily darkness gathers and empowers and people. And it is possible. A great energy moves near me. I have faith in night." Rilke writes, she has faith in night, it's faith in darkness. And now a reading from Ernest Holmes. There is another kind of energy that is even more important, the energy of faith, of affirmative prayer and spiritual meditation. There is no reason to doubt that in the field of spiritual consciousness, a chain reaction could be created, which would bless the world. In this season of growing darkness, in this year of seeming stress and confusion, chaos and change, it is possible a great energy moves near me. I have faith in darkness. The energy of faith could create a chain reaction that would bless the world. So I leave you with that faith in darkness, that faith that can change the world as we move into silence. darkness, energy, faith that can change the world. In this season of darkness, I leave you with this challenge. In the darkness, there's faith, there's energy moving, a creative force moving near you that can change the world. So as we move towards that longest night and the shortest day, it is the time for faith. Faith in that energy which is moving near you. That energy which can change the world. Now I invite you to bring your attention back to your physical body, to your breath, that perfect breath that sustains you always. Spirit breathing as you. Wiggle your toes. Notice your arms, your hands, your body, your neck, your shoulders. Welcome yourself back to this space and this place where you sit. To that own perfect breath, which is uniquely you. And I thank you for being here at meditation this morning. Namaste.
This Christmas, put a little extra joy, hope, and love on your list when you shop your local Salvation Army thrift
Good morning. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Joni Bauman, practitioner, and I'll be giving you the announcements today. Also, everyone is invited to the Zoom Sunday celebration, as well as our services being live streamed on our YouTube channel at Columbus CSL. We will post the video later to our Facebook page, so please check it out. Also, feel free to share our service from our YouTube channel to your own Facebook page. For everyone on Zoom with us today, please feel free to turn on your videos so we can see each other, but please remember to keep yourself muted. And now for the announcements. Thank you to those who have completed their 2021 pledge cards and have returned them to the CCSL office. If you haven't mailed yours in, it's not too late. You still can. Believe it or not, our 2021 pledge campaign amount has reached to date $90,128. We are so grateful to all of you who have generously contributed. And if you haven't received your pledge campaign packet or would like to receive one so you can join us, please contact Robin at spirituallivingcolumbus.org. and one will be mailed to you or can be sent to you electronically. Thank you so much for your continued support of Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. Also, a big thank you to everyone who attended this past Friday's Open Heart Open Mic event. What a great assortment of talent we had. We even had a performer from as far away as Albuquerque, New Mexico. Please mark your calendars for next month, January 8th, from 7 to 9 p.m. via Zoom. You can watch for your upcoming CCSL Weekly Word e-newsletter for the Zoom link, and you can find the link on our Facebook page. If you'd like to share your amazing talents at an upcoming Open Hearts Open Mic, contact Jim Hetzer at jahetzer@sbcglobal.net. That's jahetzer@sbcglobal.net. Everyone is invited to join us on Christmas Day, Friday, December 25th, for our CCSL virtual open house from 1 to 3 p.m. on Zoom. Your hosts for this special Christmas open house are the delightful Bill Santa Fuller and the lovely Robin Ms. Claus Brookhouse. This is an open house, so join in when you would like and stay as long as you like. Wear your best ugly sweater or your fanciest holiday hat for a chance to win a fabulous prize. The link to the event is on our Facebook page under Events and will be in your upcoming CCSL Weekly Word e-newsletter. Do you have a laptop computer that's 5 years old or less and you're not using it? We're in need of a replacement for our office computer and thought we would check in with our members before purchasing one. If you have a computer you want to donate to the center, please email Robin in the office at robin@spirituallivingcolumbus.org. Thank you for your consideration in this. We also have a suggestion box that you can send your ideas, feedback, suggestions, etc. Email them to ccslsuggestionbox@gmail.com. Your feedback is always welcome and it's always appreciated. The 2021 spiritual journals are now available for purchase. The journal is just $14.95 plus shipping and handling. To order your journal, go to csl.org and at the top of the homepage, click on Shop and it will direct you to make your purchase. You are the face of God. Help us share shining smiles, sparkling eyes, and the community's faces, mask or no mask, and we will show this in our Sunday celebration. Please send us a picture of yourself and to robin@spirituallivingcolumbus.org so we can share the faces of God in our virtual Sunday celebration. And if you would like prayer after service or anytime throughout the week, you can find our prayer practitioners on our website, columbuscsl.org, or you can submit a prayer request on our website. That's the news for today. Please join our opening song with Carissa Holmes and Tony Bernardi.
Thank you for your patience. We are getting the video up right now.
All right, let's let the love flow. When I open my heart, when I feel it glow, when I open my heart, I let love flow, let it flow. Oh, when I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I feel it glow, glow. When I open my heart, I let the love flow, let it flow. Light me up, fill me up, open up. Light me up, fill me up, open up. When I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I feel it glow, glow. When I open my heart, I let the love flow, let it flow. When I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I feel it glow, glow. When I open up my heart, I am the place where all the love flows, let it flow. Light me up, fill me up, open up. Light me up, I'm shining, fill me up, I'm going open up. When I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I feel it glow, when I open up my heart, I am the place where love goes, let it flow.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. I am Reverend Amy Papadoupolo, and it is my honor to welcome you this morning. Thanks to Carissa Holmes. That was a recording from her Facebook page, or I'm sorry, her YouTube channel called Creative Conscious Living. So here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, we practice the science of mind, and we are an inclusive organization, and you are welcome here no matter where you are on your spiritual journey. I'd like to thank everyone this morning that's joining us on Zoom. Also, thank you to those who are joining us on our YouTube channel at Columbus CSL. Also, a recording of today's service will be posted to our Facebook page later today. So please read our mission statement along with me. We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community using the science of mind principles as our compass. And I'd like to thank practitioner Janelle Carroll for the meditation this morning. She is also holding a virtual high watch for our service today. Our opening song again was provided by Carissa Holmes from her YouTube channel, Creative Conscious Living. Now I'd like to reintroduce practitioner Joni Bauman. Joni?
We now begin our sacred service. I would like to introduce our community member, Jessie Powers, who will be giving us the reading this morning. Jessie?
A reading from Dr. Ernest Holmes from Living the Science of Mind. When a group of people come together with one accord and with one thought, a greater power is generated. This is not because the creative principles respond to a number of people more than it does to one, but because the combined faith of a group reaches a highest level of consciousness. Since the explosion of the first atom bomb, we have read about the possibility of a physical chain reaction that might destroy civilization as we understand it. There is another kind of energy that is even more important, and this is the energy of faith, of affirmative prayer, and spiritual meditation. There is no reason to doubt that in the field of spiritual consciousness, a chain reaction could be created which would bless the world.
Thank you, Jesse. And now let's take a moment of silence together. As we come out of this silence and we contemplate the power of energy, I am conscious of Spirit's infinite love, infinite energy, and infinite generosity. The love of the one is within me and everyone present here, radiating to all, flowing through all. I claim that we continue to open our hearts, open our souls, and open our minds to this power of energy that we already embody. Like the creative soil in which seeds are planted and from which plant life grows, we allow the loving wisdom of the one to move through us with seeds that take shape in wondrous ways. I know that this loving wisdom refreshes all of us here today, dissolving all fear, doubt, setting us free. The light and love of Spirit radiates to all we encounter and shines forth as a beacon of hope and promise. And I affirm that this service is in divine order, perfect and blessed, supporting us as our inner awareness continues to grow and flourish. I release this understanding of our truth into the law, knowing that it is already done, and with a grateful heart for this loving and enlightened presence within, please join me in saying, and so it is.
I don't want to give words to this. Anything you have to interpret will only eclipse the heart of it. I just want to send it in sound with a wavelength clarity. Ooh, nothing I could ever say will resonate the same way that this love does in me. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Somewhere in the beat of your heart, there I am. Somewhere underneath all the war-torn believing, there you have always been. It's something like a melody, it's something like a song, and it sings itself and it's never wrong. Ooh, everywhere it plays for me, it's always on repeat. It's It's not just there in my body. It's not just there in the thoughts that I think. It's there in the roots, in the skies and the seas, in the eyelids, the irises, the wind and the wings, and the will be, the ever was, the reason and the just because. I am the song that I sing. Inhale, exhale.
Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful, Jesse. Oh, thank you so much. We are so grateful when you are here. That was just a perfect setup. Thank you. So good morning, everyone. You may have noticed this morning that our music looks a little different. We used a recording of Carissa singing our very first congregational song this morning. Usually she's here with us live, but today she's not. And in fact, Tony is not here with us either. Also, you might have noticed that we did not have music before the opening prayer. And also, just to let you know, after the talk, we will go right into our offertory song, and then once again, Jesse will sing and play for us. So, oh yes, and then our very last song, which is also a congregational song, is a song from the St. Louis Center. So our music is different now, and to say the least, this year has been a year of change. This year has been one where things have been very different than we thought they were going to look when we started out our 2020. I went back and I looked at the talk that I wrote for the beginning of the year, and it was all about seeing clearly, using that 2020 vision to see clearly. And now that we're coming to the end of 2020, I'm not so sure how I feel or what I think about that seeing clearly. But what I do know for sure is this is not at all what we expected this year to be. So, and then also here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, our community looks different as well. We just got through our pledge goal, our pledge drive, which happy to say is at 90,000. We've had 90,000 pledges. Our goal was 100,000. And if you have not returned your pledge card, it is not too late. We appreciate it because it helps us. The pledges help us to know what our budget is. So basically what we did was we took our budget and we took the pledges that came in and we created a balanced budget. And with the balanced budget, some areas had to change. And one of the areas that we changed was the music. And so that's what you saw this morning was some change in the music. Instead of having live music every week, this week we didn't have any, well, actually we had our soloist, Jesse. We didn't have our center trio. And this, by not having our center trio, whom we love and adore, it helps us to balance our budget. So that's why you're seeing the differences in music. Now, I know for me, I missed them, and I can imagine other people miss them. And just like in 2020, things are different, things are different now. So we may have them back. Well, we will definitely have them back. But this is just what it is for us now. Now, as I was thinking about talking to the community about this, um, I want to make sure that we understand that there's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong, and it is just a change. And it reminds me of the story about the young woman who was making a ham. And some of you might have heard this story before. I think it's applicable here as it is to so many different areas in our life. So the young woman was making a ham, and she cuts the ends off the ham, and her mother was there visiting. And so the daughter said to the mother, "Mom, I've always wondered, or I've always thought about when I cut the ends of this ham off, why do we cut the ends of the ham off?" And the mom says, "That's just the way you do it. You just cut the ends of the ham off." And the daughter was thinking, "Well, okay. Well, Mom, where did you learn that?" And Mom said, "Well, your grandmother taught me that." So they called the grandmother and asked the grandmother, "Why do we cut the ends of the ham off?" Because it passed down from grandmother to mother to daughter. Why do we do this? And the grandmother said, "I did this because the ham wouldn't fit in the pan that I had." And I love that story because, and we all do it. I do it. We all do it. We get into these areas of our life where we have habits, and we get used to things the way that they are. And so when things change, we can look at the change as being bad or being different, but it's just because we've done them habitually. And it's the same thing for the music. It's not bad, it's just different. It's just a change for now. So, moving on to our talk this week, continuing with the talk this week. The title is Preparing the Way. So let's talk about preparing the way. When I think about preparing the way, I think about preparing the way for what? So it's December 13th. We're preparing the way for, like Janelle said in her meditation, the darkness to come of the winter. We're preparing the way for the shortest days, for the longest of the dark nights. We can prepare the way for the holidays this year, which again will look very different than what they did last year, I am sure. And also, when I think about preparing the way, I think about preparing the way for 2021. I'm thinking about 2021. What do we want to see in 2021? With the COVID vaccine being approved, and I heard on the news that even possibly the COVID vaccine being given to people this coming Friday, things are really going to change. So preparing the way, let's talk about preparing the way for the upcoming winter season and preparing the way for the upcoming holiday season. And I'd like to talk about peace, because that is definitely a theme that we see through the holiday season is peace. And I'd like to talk about inner peace and outer peace. And how do we prepare the way for inner peace and outer peace? So I'd like to talk about preparing the way for inner peace and deepening the way for inner peace in our minds. And when I think about inner peace, I think about the idea of giving free passage through my mind. Giving free passage through my mind. And what does that mean? So I'll just use an example from my own life. So I've been under the weather this week, kind of not feeling well, a little congested, had some body aches, um, and I just have not been feeling well. I got a COVID rapid test and it was negative, and yet there's a bug that's being worked through in my body. And when I was thinking about this talk and I was thinking about inner peace, this bug that my body is fighting off right now is working with. I've been working on letting it have free passage through my mind. Now, that doesn't always work because when I think about this bug that's in my body right now, when it gets into my mind goes sometimes, I don't want to feel like this. Oh my goodness, how can I feel like this and give a talk? Oh my goodness, I've got so much work to do. I can't do this work because I've got this darn cold. I've got this darn bug. That is not giving free passage through my mind. And what my mind is doing is it's resisting it. It's resisting something that's different. It's resisting something that's new. And I tell you, I really think that it makes my cold symptoms worse because I'm pushing against it. And sometimes I feel like the victim, to be honest. I feel like a victim. And I notice that and I forgive myself and I have compassion with myself and I practice, okay, whatever this bug is, whatever it is here for me. There is nothing against me in this life. Everything is for me. This too is of God, right? This too is of God because what we practice here is oneness, oneness with everything and everyone. So if I just allow this bug free passage through my mind, it is what it is. I keep practicing that. And when I forget, just like I forgot last night, I did not want to be sick anymore. I did not want to have to give this talk as being sick. So I texted a dear friend and I said, I am just feeling like a victim. I am just not wanting to be sick anymore. And she texted me back just some loving, kind words. And that's what I needed to shift. So I share this with you because for a couple things. I'd invite you to think about what in your life you're not giving free passage through your mind with right now. I know for me, as I think about what I'm not giving free passage through my mind, I can also think about who I'm not giving free passage through in my mind. There might be someone at work. There is someone at work that I don't always give free passage through in my mind because when I think about this person, my mind halts and says, yeah, but you and you. And then I have to go, okay, hang on. Free passage through my mind means that person gets to go right through my mind and doesn't get stuck. And I don't take it hostage. I don't take them hostage, which makes me feel worse. So practicing free passage through our mind with things, with events, and with people. And even with music right now, like our music, The Faces of God, we thought, Robin and I worked on it yesterday, we thought we were going to be able to show that slideshow and we were going to have our music and instead of looping, the music that we were using from YouTube went on to the next YouTube song or whatever it was and played that ad from the Salvation Army. And I had to practice, you know what? Just give it free passage through my mind. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So giving free passage through our mind can certainly create inner peace right now. Even with the darkness coming and the holidays looking differently than they usually look, with the winter, giving free passage through our minds. The other thing I want to talk about is this class that Reverend Gregory and I just finished teaching. We taught, it's called Spiritual Principles and Practices. And it does a really good job of really clearly laying out our principles, what we teach in Science of Mind, not just here in Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, but all the centers for spiritual living. And I'd just like to share a little bit from this class, just because I like the way it was so clean and laid out. We have 10 spiritual principles that we teach and practice. The first one is oneness. The second one is love, creation, the threefold nature of God, the creative process, spiritual laws, spiritual beings, freedom, heaven, and eternal life. In this class, we touched on all of those. We worked with those. And we also worked with methods of how to embody those principles in our life. Lots of times we talk about this as spiritual practice. These spiritual practices will also help us create that inner peace in our life. Spiritual practice can be spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, meditation, mindfulness, visioning, self-awareness, silence, spiritual coaching, journaling, forgiveness, sacred service, giving and receiving, contemplation, and spiritual education. And I just want to speak for a moment about this spiritual education. We just finished this class. This was a 5-week class, and we're getting ready to, in the new year, we'll have other classes as well. So if these ideas were interesting to you, if these principles were something you're interested in learning more about, watch for the classes that we're going to be teaching come the new year. We should be teaching, I don't know, probably 3 classes at least through the winter and then in the spring. So as we talk about our classes that are coming up, if you're interested and want more information, you can contact me. You can also contact any of our practitioners because they've been through them as well. So maybe I'm just kind of giving a little plug here. I'm just kind of being drawn and guided to just talk about our spiritual education, which is very, very strong here at Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. So I want to go back to the reading that Jesse read for us. And it was from Ernest Holmes and from his book, Living the Science of Mind. And he says, when a group of people come together with one accord and one thought, a greater power is generated. It's like when Jesus said, when 2 or more are gathered. That's the idea that Holmes is talking about. He also says, it's not because the creative principle responds to a number of people more than it does to one, but because the combined faith of a group reaches a highest level of consciousness. And that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here this morning. I mean, really, that's why people go to church, right? And go to centers or go to mosques or temples, is because that power that's generated when a group of people come together with one accord and one thought is a greater power. And that's what we're doing here this morning. And that greater thought, we're doing it in a spiritual sense. So that idea of all of us having a greater power, a greater understanding, a greater embodiment, a greater experience of the teaching. What we teach is God is everywhere, in me, through me, and as me. So as we come together this morning, it's my intention that each one of us have a deeper experience of the divine as you, as me. This can also address that idea of the outer calm, the outer peace, which is what I wanted to talk about. So I'm talking about the inner peace and the outer peace as we prepare the way. So as we think about preparing the inner way for peace, I want to invite us to think about the outer way of creating peace. And Holmes talks about it here when a group of people come together. He also talked about how meditation creates a field, and this field is enlarged by involving other people. And so there have been some really interesting studies about the effects on peace and on societies. Societies have been influenced by a group of people meditating on a certain idea. For example, in the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? There was a study, there was a group of meditators who wanted to see if they could decrease the crime rate in the area around Washington, D.C., which can be have a very high crime rate. So this group of people got together and they meditated together in a group with the intention of bringing the crime rates down. And do you know, and they worked with the police department as well. So they worked with the police department. They told them this experiment that they were going to do. And the police department watched the crime rates from when the meditators started and when they ended. And do you know that the police department reported a decrease in the crime rate? And the only thing that changed was that group of people that meditated together. So I bring this up because those of us in this community, those of us in Centers for Spiritual Living, those of us in the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, we can have this effect as well. We can have this effect of love and life and light and joy and freedom. We can affect Columbus. We can affect Ohio. We can affect our world. So I'm going to show you I want to show you a video, and it comes from, it's an institute called the Maharishi Institute. And what they do is they study the effects of meditation. So I'm going to share my screen. And as I share my screen, I just want you to know that that there is music here, but there are no words spoken, but there are text boxes. Let's take that into prayer. Unity, oneness, love, kindness, life, vitality, abundance, well-being, and above all, love. These are the qualities of the divine. And what I know about the divine is that it is everywhere, in everything and everyone. For I absolutely know, trust, believe that God is right in the middle of each and every human being on this planet. That we are one, that we are all made up of the same stuff. We are made up of God stuff, and that God stuff is good, good, and so good. And so I speak my word from this place of recognizing the oneness of all of humanity, and from this place of being unified with this one. I speak my word and claim for all of humanity peace, inner peace, inner peace, like that place within us that is so still and serene, like that calm pond that is the place in us where God shows up in its entirety. And I also claim for people across the planet outer peace. I claim a oneness with each other, a unity with each other. As we look into each other's eyes, we recognize the individuality of the person across from us, and yet we also recognize the oneness. And so I speak my word on behalf of our community of Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, for those of us that are here live with us this morning, or those of us who listen later, and even those who might just be coming into our community to watch this service. I claim for us peace. I claim for us love and light and joy and wisdom and abundance and power and beauty. I claim that for each and every one of us, and I turn away from anything and everything that looks like fear. I turn away from anything and everything that is doubt, away from anything and everything that is separation. And I turn back towards the unity, the love, and the oneness. And so I release this treatment into that law that always says yes. That treatment that returns this prayer to me, pressed down, shaken up, and overflowing with what I just put into it as we live from the saucer as our cup runneth over. With a grateful heart, knowing this is done for myself, for each person here, and for each one in our human brother and sisterhood. I claim it good, good, and more good. I release it and let it go. And please join with me in saying, and so it is. Oh, thank you. So, like I had mentioned before in at the beginning of my talk, things are a little different here. Our setup is a little bit different right now. So instead of going Well, actually, Jesse is going to sing for us. However, before we do that, I guess it is my turn again. So now is the time for the giving of our gifts. Thank you for the ways that you continue to support the center during these times. We are honored to be able to continue to support you spiritually, and we appreciate the gifts, the donations, and the tithes that you give to CCSL. Your tithes and your donations are important because it helps us to fulfill our vision of a world that works for everyone. So please say our affirmation with me. Thank you, Robin. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
All right. I think it's my turn to start. So while you are giving the lifeblood of this center from your heart, this is a song about the Maharishi, right? Right, Amy? Maharishi effect. Okay, so here we go. We can change the world if we want to. We can change it all if we want. Sit with me, we can be 6 feet apart. Let's bow our heads and honor that which is greater than we are. Take the pain inside your heart and give it to the light. Together we're better, so let yourself remember that tonight. Because we can change the world if we want to. We can change it all if we want. And stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. It isn't mine to ever know the answer to it all. But what I do know is we must go where we are called. Everything is screaming out, honey, it's all inside. Begin with me within and see the peace that we ignite. Because we can change the world if we want to. And stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Stillness is the way. Ready? Gonna breathe in, gonna breathe out. That's about all that we can do right now. Whether it's not ours to figure out today. Gonna be here, gonna be now. Peace of mind, gonna find us somehow. And I know stillness is the way. We're gonna breathe in, gonna breathe out. That's about all that we can do right now. Maybe it's not ours to figure out today. Gonna be here, gonna be now. Peace of mind, gonna find us somehow. And I know stillness is the way. 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 We can change the world if we want to.
Thank you, Jesse. I am so grateful for your talent, for the talent of everyone here, all of the contributions all of you make to our service. It's a wonderful oneness that we share. And I know that the gifts we are now bringing are received with love, joy, and a sense of abundance of infinite source. Thankful that we are all one, and for the many gifts we share, I let it go And together we say, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you. And thank you, Jesse, for that song. That was the perfect song after that talk, the Maharishi Effect. We can change the world if we want to, and stillness is the way. We didn't even plan that. That was an example of the one mind. So I'd like to thank our practitioners today. I'd like to thank Janelle Carroll for her meditation. Thank you, Joni Bauman, for assisting me on the platform. Thank you so much for the lovely and talented Jessie Powers for doing the reading today and for being our featured soloist. I'd also like to thank Carissa Holmes for sharing her music today from her YouTube channel. And also, thank you to all of you who are here with us today in this sacred Sunday celebration. If you are joining us for the first time, or if you're watching us for the very first time, we welcome you. We would love to get you a welcome packet in the mail with information about who we are and what we believe. So please contact the office, or you can also send us a private Facebook message. Also, if you are not receiving information about our services, please call the office, or again, you can send us a private Facebook message. So now for our closing song. Thank you for your patience as Robin cues this up. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do, I don't know what's going on as we work out this this new way of being together. I am gonna go ahead and play it. This is called Opening Up to the Good. Can you hear it? You can't hear it? Okay. All right.
I am opening up to the good. I am opening up to the good. I am opening up to the good. To the good that is my life. Joy. I am opening up to the joy. I am opening up to the joy. I am opening up to the joy. To the joy that is my life. Peace. I am opening up to the peace. I am opening up to the peace. I am opening up to the peace. To the peace that is my life. Love. I am opening up to the love. I am opening up to the love. I am opening up to the love that is my life. Opening. I am 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 opening.
Oh. So now we've closed. I don't know what happened there, but that was enough opening, I guess. Spirit said, and so it is. So please say our blessing with me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is. Have a wonderful day.